Morning, everyone. I know for a fact that Morris is on the front porch in the chair on top of the heating pad. So I'm going to have to call him and see if he wants to come for some breakfast. And Marty ate in the house. I think we might have just one more dose of the Clavamox antibiotic. Hey, Mart. Stripe's out here somewhere. There's Stripe. Stretchy. Hi. Hi, good boy. I've called. We'll see if he's interested in coming around for food or not. He looked pretty snug up there on his bed. It's in the 50s out here this morning, although Friday morning they said we could be in the 40s, which is fine. It's great as long as we don't get an early frost, or then I'll be griping. No one day cold event, kill my stuff, and then 3 weeks of warmth. That's not permissible. The Sasanqua camellias continue to bloom and look gorgeous. I was noticing the one in the front yard, that's the same as this one where Blaze is. It just all kinds of blooms. And then over here on this smaller one, slightly different variety. This flower here was in the sun a minute ago and just looked really spectacular. They're all over there by Don's tree. Morris saw me and Stripe in the front yard and came off the porch excited to see us, and then Marty came around from the front. I just wanted to take a minute and show you the pretty flowers. Very nice. Like I said, it's doing so much better since the dead or leaning holly is gone from over top of it. I'm still seeing bees or yellow jackets maybe in the ground near here. I don't know. There's a lot of stinging things hovering on the camellia flowers. Still making honey or gathering pollen. Hi. Hello. Hi. Well, unfortunately, Stripe did his walkabout a little farther up the driveway than I wanted him to, but I see him. He's not farther than the stairs. There he comes. I don't know where Morris is. Oh, Morris is still asleep on the bridge. All right. And Marty's on the other side. Stripey, good morning. Come on back to Mama. Come on. He goes, but Mom, this is part of the morning territory, and if I don't walk it, I'm not happy. He's coming in the right direction now. We're good. Well, it's a very nice morning.
It is.
It feels it's right at 60 degrees according to WeatherBug.
Yeah, I'm glad I have long sleeves.
Yeah, but it's long sleeves is good. No jacket necessary though.
That's right.
Of course, Dawn has on 2 layers. I just have on 1, but I'm very comfortable in my shirt. So I was able to secure tickets to the Pullen Park Holiday Express train ride. And this is not about me and Dawn getting to go on the kiddie train. This is about getting to see all of the Christmas lights at the park around the water. I'm very excited. They went on sale this morning at 9 o'clock, and by 9:15 I had gotten through Ticketmaster stuff. They were about $20 a piece with the service fee. So not that big a deal. I didn't get tickets for anybody but me and Dawn because, you know, it's not like they were cheap, and I don't know who else. I don't know if Johnny will be home yet or not or whatever. I steered away from the first few days, and I was hoping a Monday night might not be as crowded. Just overall in general going into downtown Raleigh, I'm sure Pullen Park will be a disaster area of trying to park. But if you'll remember, we couldn't get in last year. It was sold out by the time I knew about it, and we drove past it and tried to enjoy it from the street, but there, you know, no place to really park and stop out at the street. And yeah, so I'll be able to get my Christmas light pictures this year. I think Marty has one more dose of medicine tonight, but he seems to be his normal self, enjoying the cooler temps and refreshing air outside. Don's foot is better. Don's foot's not normal, but it's better, or we wouldn't be out here. Resting yesterday seemed to help, especially to recover from the stairs at the apartment on Sunday, which was probably a little more than optimal for healing. I had a picture of Gray this morning. She was out moving around doing good. I want to say I think she's over any hurdles of the transition. If she's willing to be out and up on top of the bed and rubbing up against Johnny's hand and looking for attention, then that's normal Gray behavior, you know. But like Morris, to a certain extent, Gray, if you move too fast, she runs for cover. And that's, you know, that's always going to be that way. But she seems to have adjusted well. She's eating. She's using her box. She's out and about when Johnny's in the room. So that's all good. Kids will be kids, right? Hopefully one of the town guys in their pickup truck will take it back to Dollar General. I got it from down on the other side and brought it up here for them. So it's right there. They don't have to make, you know, a super effort to go down the hill to get it. I suspect it'll be there for a while. I hope I'm wrong. 25 minutes of sunshine, 3/4 of a mile walk, and a good bit of trash picked up.
Yep.
That's about was our normal Tuesday morning. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're always more pressed for time.
And we saw 2 of our regular walkers today.
That we hadn't seen in a while, so that was nice. Yeah, Robert and
I forgot the lady.
yeah, another lady that walks. Robert goes back and forth between here and
Vermont.
Yep, his family's in Vermont. I guess
Yeah.
he moved south to get away from the winter.
Yeah.
But he goes home for a week 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Since he's retired and can do that. So he keeps up with his family. But he's out here walking every day, trying to stay as healthy as he can. He has Parkinson's diagnosis, and he uses the ski poles to, make sure he's got his balance good, and just making sure he gets as much activity and sunshine and practice as he can, I guess.
Yeah.
But we enjoy seeing Robert. I tried to move the seatbelt down sitting, and I just can't. Dang it. If Don remembered it, he would move it back for me. He would never set me up to have trouble moving that thing. Anyway, it took 2 hands, but I got it. So, first off, Ruby's got a good bit of charge. I don't have to worry about. She recovered fine from arriving home at about 9%. That's because it's winter, not summer, and we have more hours during the day of low-cost charging. I was just showing, trying to see the difference in coming this way versus going down the road where the utility work is happening. And it looks like it really doesn't look like it's changed much. Still 10:51 arrival. Yeah, these 2 ways are not significantly different in time. I'm just not willing to whisk what's going on over on Piney Grove Wilbon. This gives me more ability to pass in 2 lanes, and currently no construction this way that I'm aware of, so that's good. So the mayor's race is definitely this November. Donna was trying to figure out why it would be in a odd year. I don't know. There's been even more messaging from the current mayor about road improvement stuff. I guess they're going to put a stoplight up by the Willow Spring High School, Old Honeycutt Road and Kennebec Road. I'm sure there are times of the day where that's absolutely needed and would be safer and could save money for paying for police coverage over there at the school to help with the traffic stuff. But the mayor is definitely on a full court press to get all of these road enhancements announced. You know, if somebody's running against him, I haven't seen any messaging from that person. So I'm going to say he's a shoo-in to get reelected. But I'm not super impressed, even with some of these announcements for road enhancement stuff, because too much all at once, stuff that should have been done before the problem was created, because some of these are newly created problems. You know, and just something to be said for, you got to take credit for what you do, but not go over the point of bragging, I guess. Somewhere in there. I don't know. I don't know who's running against him, so I'm just going to guess that that person has no chance of winning, or I would at least know their name. I'll film for a minute, just so you can see how much color change we aren't having yet. There's a little bit of change, but not a lot, because when I do this route, and then, you know, each week in the next 3 to 4 weeks, there'll be an increasing amount of color, and it'll be really pretty. One of the trees that's turned red already, which is not all of the ones off to the side, but clearly is some, are the dogwood trees. They tend to be really red really early. Some of these other trees that I'm seeing have changed color are sweet gums. Johnny just sent me a picture from the engineering side of campus. They were on the patio at Duke Centennial Hall and over in engineering. And the trees up high, there was some cold air there, I guess, had started to turn. And I'm glad Johnny was able to get outside for a break and enjoy a little fresh air and fall color today. But this route gets really pretty as we move into November, and I certainly am planning on enjoying it. I've got 4 minutes to spare. I'm walking. Yes, I am. I'm walking. So besides all the pretty Teslas this morning, I saw a Lucid, a Rivian, and an ID4. I'm surprised with all of the Rivians around here that the numbers were so low for trucks that I saw floating around on X yesterday. You know, we reopened the discussion about why we're not seeing more Cybertrucks, with a lot of the consensus being it has nothing to do with what it looks like and more to do about the price. Well, Don had said very early on he wanted to lift a mid-gate. He was pretty clear about it. Also, when you have a perfectly good running truck for your truck needs, it's hard to justify, I guess, a brand new one. I don't know. I think it's a combination of avoiding drama and price. We just did my back. That was enjoyable, restful. I just wish I had another 30 minutes because I was about to fall asleep and I could have used a cat nap. Of course, there's nothing stopping me from resting in Ruby for a minute, but no, not going to do that. I'm going to head over to the Lowe's and buy some more of the netting because we've used up all the netting. I don't have a pressing need, but when I go down there to get some, I want it. I still have some green stakes. This store does have good clearance and usually pretty healthy stock, and it's, you know, it's just fun to walk around. It gets me a little bit more outside time and you know, fresh air, walking, exercise, all the good stuff. It's mostly mums that are done, some aster and some verbena. I've got a couple of golden rocket barberries on sale, but they'd still be $35, and I don't love that color. The knockout roses sure do look pretty. I'm definitely a fan of barberry, and I really like this Jazz Hands variety. And it's a good sized pot, but I'm not going to pay $25 for it. But if I ever see this one clearance down, this one I would go for. I'm headed over to Guardian Angel now. I got 2 hexagon cement slabs for those 2 pots around front. Those are smaller than bigger, and I wanted smaller in those areas because of the ferns. And the pots aren't that wide at the bottom either. I bought the netting that I went in for one clearance plant. I forget what it is, but a Coralina, something like that. It's basically marginally cold hardy here. I'm either going to put it under the house or I'm going to move it into the garage when it's cold. I don't know. I hadn't decided yet. Sorry about the straw. I can't reach it right now. And I did get the netting. The netting, the cement, the clearance plant, and a couple of small shepherd hooks. These are deer deterrents for those new maples I planted around front. Basically, it's all going down there. Tempting. They have a couple good choices today. If I lived at the beach. So is this for holding your ice cream cone? I've never seen this piece before. Paul's craft, of course, but definitely cute, but I can't come up with anything I could do with it. There's a good bit of Halloween and Christmas out. I got one shopping bag for Whole Foods and a Halloween theme that I liked. Christmas vacation lampoon. I was gonna say that puts the ugly in ugly Christmas sweater, I think. Somebody'll like that doesn't like long sleeves. Now I need pork rinds and cash, so it's off to Food Lion I go. I've now seen a Mach-E, an Ioniq 5, and a Polestar. Pretty much can get the whole, you know, kit and caboodle while I'm in Cary every time. I don't see a Cybertruck yet today. Yet. Parking lot's too crazy every time to go driving extra aisles. I'm just always happy that I made it out alive. Well, that Ruby made it out without a dent. S3 Y and Ruby. I have to say I much prefer the front of Ruby to the front of the other Teslas. I really like. Well, the S has it too. I really like the open area with the T. Just a personal preference. Ruby says it's 71 out there. I'm a little surprised that it stayed as cloudy as it has today. No big deal though. So how about that Starship launch test flight yesterday? That was pretty awesome again, wasn't it? Yeah, that was really cool. I'm so pleased it went well. Doesn't mean it'll always go well, but I'm so pleased it went well. Hopefully we learned a lot of new stuff again that they can go to do things with. I got a real chuckle out of Elon popping up behind the two people that were doing the live cast. That was pretty cute. I like that. Add a little humor and levity to the moment. Well, I'm sure he was in a pretty good mood. I've never seen him be in a horrible mood. I've always seen him take things in stride when they don't go as planned, but you got to be in a better mood when things are going well. So that was all good. Don and I did have, you know, a head nod behind the scenes about the lower cost Model 3 and Model Y. You know, okay. If people want into Teslas and they can't afford the price of what's now the premium Model 3 and Model Y, and this helps them to get into a Tesla, I'm all for it. Obviously, I think if you've already bought one, you're liable probably to stick with the one you got, or if you need to replace it, get one like the one you have, but maybe not. I don't know. I've had more of a twang every once in a while that we don't have a performance Y than anything, but not really. But a pang or two when I hear them talk about it, but not really. But I thought about it. So I hope they're successful, obviously. And like I said, if we've got people wanting to get into the cars and the cost difference between the standard and the premium is enough for it to help them get into the car, that's awesome. It's still going to be, a great Tesla vehicle, despite, not having a few of the things that we do love about the car, but not things that don't make it a Tesla. So that's, that's pretty cool. I saw Kyle's post on the New Jersey Turnpike yesterday on X about the company, Apple's Orchard. I don't know, it's a really weird name for a charging company. That the New Jersey Turnpike decided to tear out Tesla charging infrastructure and go with the sole provider, this other charging thing. I mean, pretty much any of us in the Tesla or even EV world think that was a pretty stupid move. It was 100% obviously politically motivated, and as much as I don't like Electrify America, I could have understand if they'd at least gave it to somebody that we've actually heard of before versus this other company. I don't know. It was a stupid move. But, yeah, Kyle stopped at one of their stations on the Turnpike yesterday. Of course he did, because he was in the vicinity. Well, I wouldn't want to give more money to the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, but I swear I'd either not take the Turnpike or I'd leave the Turnpike to go to a Tesla supercharger before I would give any money to charging to one charger at one of the other companies' chargers, just to be spiteful. I think I would do that. But in my mind, I did realize that actually probably makes more money for the Turnpike Authority. I don't know. I'm not likely to be driving through the state of New Jersey, and if I was, I probably wouldn't be on the Turnpike. All the places I would want to go, at least the last time I was there, I wouldn't be going up to the city. And I wouldn't be going between the city and Atlantic City, so I probably really wouldn't need the Turnpike. Although I guess it's possible now that 195 and some of those other places are could be toll now. I don't know. So then I was watching Technology Connections YouTube yesterday. This is the guy with the black cubes behind him. Used to have train lights, stop lights, crossing lights, I guess is the right word, behind him, but not so much anymore. But there's a bunch of lava lamps, and he's got dark hair, and he's starting to have a little gray, but he's far from old. He's a pretty young guy, and he drives an Ioniq 5. Anyway, you've either watched that channel or you haven't, but he did a thing on ozone generators and how to get the smoke smell out of a used car, or mold or whatever out of a used car. And Don was entertained by that video, mostly because we remember when Kyle accidentally took the glass bottles of beer for a ride at the track and had some beer spilled that he didn't know he had spilled, and I guess that was in one of the Model 3s, and we had handed him the ozone generator we had to try, and it actually did a darn good job of getting the smell out of the car. And yeah, I mean, so he asked the question, well, is this going to wear out the plastics on the inside of the car? And he said maybe a little, probably not any more than normal sun and heat and stuff. And besides, if it's if you got to get out of smell, you got to get out of smell. At that point, there's not a lot of choice probably. And anyway, it's pretty darn effective, those things. And just mentioning it in case you're ever in the position where you need to get an odor out of your car, running one of those ozone generators for an amount of time could really do a good job for you. I think we had one lying around because of COVID. It was one of those things when they were, I'm trying to be careful here, scare us to death about it, that Somebody said it wasn't a bad idea to have one of these around in case you needed to kill the germs in a room or something where somebody had been sick, and we ended up with one of them. And anyway, I've got a picanha roast in the oven, and I'm gonna do bag 15 and hopefully 16 while it cooks. Wow, it's really coming along. 16 and 17, built the head, mounted the head, and then added some wingtips on. It's not done yet, but it's really coming along.